On this episode of A Rev It to the Max, we sit down with your 2022 SDBA High Points Champion in Pro Modified class. This show I would like to dedicate to Jason Maynard as well as David Gillen for the use of their photography. Check these guys out. They sell their photos online. They capture all the racing actions at most of the races around the country, and they sell their photos. Pick out your favorite driver, your favorite boat, and send those guys a message and get a photo to hang on your wall today. All right, we're here with Mr. Henry Bainey. Don't blink. Pro Mod SDBA 2022 High Points Champion. How does it feel, boss man?
Ooh, it's good. It's good. It was a tough year, and they say if it's easy, it's not fun, boy. It was not easy, so we had a lot of fun. It was a great year.
Man, that is awesome. So, how long have you been trying to win this Pro Mod Championship?
Well, we got into Pro Mod in 2019. We moved up from QE, and I thought, man, that QE that class is just too tough. I need to. In 2018, we won the Lucas Championship in it, and I said, let's try our hand at this Pro Mod deal. And I thought, man, I jumped out of the pot to the frying pan. These guys in Pro Mod, they're serious dudes, man. They're serious. So it's a tough class to win in, and that's what made it so fun.
Man, congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did you get started boat racing?
My dad had a little maintenance company in Austin, Texas. They had a deal called Aqua Festival, and they had boat races right downtown Austin. And Mike Carter, that's Steve and Frank Carter's dad, my dad did some work for him and said, I was 12 years old, said, hey, here's 2 tickets. Bring your boy down here to watch me do a little boat racing. I went down there and saw that, and, man, it was the coolest thing I'd seen. It's like a little boy that wanted to play baseball walked to the first major league park, I saw those boats, and they're loud, and they're fancy. They had the paint jobs, and, man, those were the coolest guys. And I was watching that and pulled on my dad's shirt tail and said, I'm going to do that. He said, you think so? And I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. So it's been a dream since a little child. So been at it ever since then, in some form or another.
That's awesome. So what was your first drag boat?
Well, when I was in college in the early 80s, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. So out by Lake Belton, there's an old beat-up jet boat sitting there, an old Avenger hull with a big Brock Oldsmobile in it, and didn't even run. And so I saved up, and bought it from the guy. And, we rebuilt the engine slowly. And like I said, just didn't have a whole lot of money. So went down to Waco to SDBA, didn't know a thing about racing, and entered up. And I wasn't fast, but I thought it was. I was loud. I had over transom headers, so I thought it was loud. And that was a good time. I wasn't competitive at all, but shoot, I didn't care. I was on the water with those guys, and that was the old style. We had a rolling start and had the old dial, and ran the opposite direction of what we run now in Waco. But I did that, and heck, I couldn't really afford it. But anyway, did that for a little while, sold that boat, and got another little jet boat, a little beachcomber boat, and didn't even have a paint job on it, just white. So I called it white out, and heck, I didn't have numbers on it. I'd take red tape and tape a number on the side of it. But then I quit for a long time. Just did a lot of lake stuff, and then I ran outboards for a little while. And then 2013, I bought that 501 Curtis Lucky Draw boat in Tennessee. And we started in PE, and, man, we've been getting after it ever since then.
Man, that is so cool. So how many championships have you won?
I've only won 2. I won the QE championship in 2018 with the Lucas Series, the Division 2. And just as soon as we won it, we battled to get that. And just as soon as we won it, I told Tim the next year, I said, I'm going to run Pro Mod. And he goes, what? We just now got this down. We just now got to where we're competitive. Now you're changing. I said, well, that's the fun of it. I said, let's get after it. Let's see what we can do in Pro Mod. So that's what we did. We started in 2019 with the Pro Mod boat. I traded Rick Allen, his old Chaos boat, for the Lucky Draw boat. We did a little horse trading, and it was all set up for Hemi. And so we took my motor out of Lucky Draw and stuck it in the Pro Mod. And a bunch of people had doubts, said, oh, you ain't got enough motor to run Pro Mod. You can run QE, but in that light boat, but you can't do it in Pro Mod. But anyway, that's why we put on the valve covers Hemi Killer. So we've done okay. We've done all right with it.
Man, that is awesome. So tell us about your crew.
Man, my crew's they're it. That's there wouldn't be Naughty Racing if it wasn't for the crew. My crew chief's Tim Rester. We call him the mad scientist. He's just amazing what he does tuning that boat. He puts so much effort and energy into what we're doing, and man, he's the backbone of the team, really. Then I got Steve Patch. He's our lead tech. I tell him he's like MacGyver. He can make a ballpoint pen into a rocket. And then I got John Gomez. He does all my underwater stuff, and he tows me to the water. And he does, just handy to have around, period. He does a little bit of everything. And then we've got Kathy Rester, Tim's wife. She does our media stuff. And then the most important person really on the whole team is the owner. That's Carol, my wife. So, you can't leave her out. I wouldn't get to do this if she didn't let me go play. So she's the most important one. And, shoot, any of us drivers, we know we're only as good as our team. And, I tell everybody I'm the weak link. I just get the chance to sit in the hot rod and play. But, man, those guys are incredible. I give them all the credit.
Absolutely. So what's the fastest you've been in the capsule deal?
I guess, of course, we're indexed at 5-6 seconds in 1,000 foot. But I think we've run it about 165, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't try to break out. We try to stay in that number. Little boat's pretty quick. It's really good off the line, and that's where I get my numbers from is how quick it leaves. I'm not so much on the top end, but I can get off that line pretty quick with that thing.
Now, do you run a 2-speed in it, or do you just run a clutch?
Yeah, we run a Lenco 2-speed, sure do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what kind of sponsors do you want to thank?
Oh well, couldn't do this without sponsors. Shoot, we're just poor boys, trying to hang out with you big guys, but my best sponsor that I've got, and there's probably nobody can say this, is my mother-in-law, Mama Alice. I wouldn't get to race the boat if it wasn't for my mother-in-law. There's not too many people could say that their mother-in-law is their number one sponsor. But, man, she don't miss a race on live stream. And, she's got to go to a race. And man, she's a godsend, no doubt. And then I've got Ranch King Trailers. They've done a ton for me in Belleville. Schaefer Racing Oil has supplied me with product. We love their oil. Man, if they wouldn't sponsor me, I still put that stuff in my motor. And we've got Hunt and Hunt, Western Airways, Rick Heidel, just a friend that hit any moment company. He just gives me a little money to get us on down the road. And then, of course, the guys that are on the team, I consider them a sponsor. Gomez Landscaping, and then American Brick and Stone that Steve Patch owns.
Okay, excellent. So you went to the SDBA banquet recently to get your championship award. What did you learn for the coming season as far as any rule changes?
Man, I think we got some new guys that's going to step up and start racing with us. I heard for next year, so we're kind of excited about that. We, we got some people that are a little shifting around. Some people I think are going to run up to Pro Outlaw and from Pro Mod, which I think that's good. I like kind of it to equal out. We should have about the same number of boats as Pro Outlaws we do Pro Mod. But my little Chevy, we're gonna leave. We're gonna stay right there at Pro Mod and see if I can do a repeat. If I can do that, that'll almost be a miracle. Because, like I said, those drivers in that class, there's not a weak link there, so I'm looking forward to matching up against them next year and see what we can do.
Absolutely, good bunch of guys in that class, and very competitive. So,
no doubt.
So, any big changes over the wintertime for you? As far as I know, it looks like you had your capsule out this week when I looked at it on Facebook.
Yeah, we're gonna massage the floor a little bit. Not a bad deal. David Carroll wants everybody to pull a capsule out and look at it, and we hadn't done that in a couple of years, so not a bad deal to do that. Just check everything, see what the floor looks like, and I'm going to do a little sand and do a little flow coating. Nothing major. We did hurt the motor last year, last race in San Angelo, so we're putting that back together. It's gonna have a few more ponies than we had last year, so not that we needed it, but it's always good to have that little spare little oomph if you need it. So we'll have a fresh motor. I mean, we totally went through everything, and it's going to be about as fresh as you can get. Pretty excited about it.
That is wonderful news. I know you were talking about getting your heads redone, stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going through the heads. We're staying the same crank, but different pistons, different style rings. We're staying with the same blower, and we're just freshening up the heads, new springs, and having them all checked out. And so we ought to be good to go. It ought to be a good, strong motor.
Excellent. So when you think about boat racing, is there any one thing that you would like to give a fellow person that's aspiring to be a boat racer any kind of words of wisdom, or maybe somebody's been doing it for a year? You got any words of wisdom that might help them out?
Man, the main thing is if it's a love and if you have a passion, if you want to be around the best people in the world, even if you're not sitting in the cockpit of one of those boats, just get involved. Just go to the races, talk to the people. There's a spot for you. And it might, like I said, it might not even be racing a boat. You just may be a staffer. You may be something, but just boat racing people are just the best people in the world, the salt of the earth. And I got a shelf life. I'm kind of an old dude. I'm the old man now that Ehrlich is moved out and he's going to go over to Pro Outlaw. I'm the senior citizen. We were both the same age. So, but anyway, even when I can't do this, man, I'm going to do something. If I'm just driving around on a golf cart telling people where they need to park or whatever I need to do, be a ticket guy, I'm going to stay around this sport because if you love it, go get it. And you just can't get around a better bunch of people.
Amen. So do you have any kind of website or anything if people wanted to buy some of your apparel or anything? Do you have any kind of website?
Well, we just, we do a lot of stuff through, Facebook. And we've got a Kathy Rester, like I said, does a page for us, and it's Knotty Racing, KNOTTY Racing on Facebook. So, you contact us through there and we can get you shirts or where we're at. She does, a real good job of that. And she does videos of us and does a real good job of that. And I'm not hard to find. And man, if you're at the pits, especially if you got kiddos, I told you that's what got me started as a 12-year-old. Somebody paid attention to me, and so, man, when kids come by my pits, that's a big deal. I'll find them some kind of little gift, a piece of the boat or cap or something, so they can walk away and know if they were in the old Don't Blink pit.
Excellent. I know last year you upgraded your rig, or a couple years ago you bought a motor home and a big trailer, stacker trailer last year. What are you rolling with this year?
Oh, ooh, I tell you what, that motorhome ate me up last year. It got us there, but I rode without an air conditioner all year long, and it got a little warm in that thing. But we're in the process of trying to get some of that stuff repaired on it. We did get the stacker. Worked out real well for us. We got that little Trans Am that we put the boat in and out of, the water with. And it fits up in the top real good. And, of course, we got the boat and the golf cart underneath there. So, yeah, that's all good. But I tell you what, my motorhome's about to put me in the poor farm. But we ought to be in good shape. I'm going to take it up to Marty Logan to House of Colors. He's going to massage the back of it a little bit. I dinged into the trailer, and so anyway, it's a good old rig. It works. It gives me a place to sleep. So and it gets me there. So and I had a few blowouts. We got all new tires, so we're ready to go.
There you go. Tell us about your proudest moment boat racing.
I guess this last year I was, I was hurt. I had pinched nerves in my neck, and I was in a lot of pain. I tried not to let on a whole lot about how much pain I was in because I was afraid David Carroll or Matt Schubauer tell me I couldn't race. But Paris race, I hit a wall. I couldn't do it, and I was going to quit. I was looking for Tim Ortiz in the pits to come see if he could get in my boat and finish out run in the finals. And Brother Mike, Trinity Racing Ministries, that guy's something. I guess he just read my face, and he come up and he gave me the big Mike bear hug and prayed for me. And man, it's like that pain was lifted. And went out there and finished that race. Come up runner up in it, but you know what? We won it. I shouldn't even have been out there, but the power of the Lord and prayer got us through that. So I'd say that was it. It was kind of the turning point. I thought, hey, I can finish this season, and we went on and finished it.
Excellent. So Marble Falls, I think it was last year when your motor got hung on the rope there, the holding rope, and that boat was completely sideways. How did you save that thing?
Well, again, I guess that's one of a God thing because I should have been swimming. That was just kind of a freak deal. I didn't know what was happening for one thing, but what happened was when I let the rope up, the little hook on the top of the capsule, there's probably about a quarter of an inch little gap right there, and somehow that rope got stuck up underneath there, and of course it pulled me sideways, and I buried the left sponson, and I thought, well, I'm going to go down, and then it flipped over, and I buried the right sponson, and the water started going over the lid, and I thought, well, we're going to see how this oxygen deal works because I'm fixing to be breathing oxygen because I'm going down. And I was literally 3/4 of the way over. And I don't know if the tension on the rope still hung on to it or what, but it flipped it back upright. And shoot, the boat's still running even though water went completely over the motor. So anyway, I shut it off, and they dragged me to the out ramp, and Matt Schubauer's there. And I said, hey, did I get a rerun? He goes, are you crazy? He goes, you just about crashed. And he said, go put that boat on the trailer and get out of here. So anyway, we did a little damage to it. That little clip that holds the rope diverter, sucked it in the blower, and it bounced around inside the motor a little bit, but nothing major. But it was a wild ride, that's for sure.
Wow, I'll try to find a picture of that and put it in the video here.
Yeah. What was kind of good about that picture, I was giving Tim Ortiz a hard time. The picture, I was ahead of him. I said, man, I was ahead of you driving sideways. So But that didn't last long. So, yeah.
Wow. All right. What else can you tell us about your boat racing career? Any scary moments or any? Did I see a picture of Quick Draw on the bank in San Angelo one time, or was that somebody else?
No, that was me. That was like we we bought that boat and just didn't a whole lot about it, and so we wasn't real smart and took it down to a little river outside of Columbus, and I said, man, I just want to just launch it just to see if it's going to go straight and see what it's going to do. And Tim said, well, all right. So we did it, and I said, man, that felt pretty good. I said, let me just do it one more time. I'm going to lean into it a little bit more. We're going to see. And I leaned into it just a little bit too much. And, being a hydro, it was going straight and the river turned. And guess who wasn't turning with the river? And I hit a stump under the water and went airborne and ended up 8 foot in a tree. So
wow.
That was broken ribs, concussion, and a little bit of a headache. And but anyway, we cut out the Matt Schubauer and Cody Childress cut out the center of the boat and ran a mold, glassed it back in, foamed it up. It's still racing. It's probably stronger now than it was before I crashed it. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how they'll glide sometimes, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't, like I said, we didn't know. We didn't really know too much how to set one up, and the rudder was so short that it was actually a half an inch shorter than the tip of where the prop was. So I had no rudder. I just had a steering wheel to hang on to. So needless to say that we pulled that one off and got with J.J. Beaver, and we put a new rudder on that thing. So
wow.
Yeah. But lesson learned. We didn't know what we didn't know. So, but that's a hard way to learn a lesson.
That's tough. And then she let you back in the boat, huh?
Yeah. Luckily she wasn't there, but she did meet us at the hospital. And when I was there, I was cracking jokes and stuff because they had me in a pink gown. So she thought, oh, he's okay. He's hard headed. But luckily I had all my safety gear on, and man, I bent that butterfly steering wheel all the way to where it met itself with my chest. So there's something to say for those jackets and your safety gear. That's it literally probably saved my life because it was a pretty good crash.
Definitely. Wow. So, what's your favorite win that you've had?
Well, it's probably in 2018 in Waco, and the reason I'm saying that is, being from Central Texas, being a Central Texas boy, I'd always get a bunch of friends to come to Waco. Man, y'all come watch me race, and I've always stunk. I mean, every time I get a big crowd shows up, I'll red light first round, or I'll do this. I've blown motors up. I just, it's like, hey, come watch me. I'm terrible. Come watch me race. So 2018, I got that monkey off my back. We won the Waco race. And it was one of those races that was just a crazy, crazy battle. During when we were qualifying, we were in line to get in the water, and they ran the trash trailer into the back of my boat. And, there's a crash. Well, I didn't know it, but it turned my steering wheel completely around. So my rudder was sideways, but it looked straight to me. So I went to the rope. We had one round of qualifying, and I'm on the rope, and I hit the loud pedal, and that thing just jumped sideways, and because I didn't know the rudder was totally sideways. And I thought, what just happened? Of course, I shut it off. And I had the Sea-Doo driver take me back to the rope. He goes, no, you need to take it out. I said, no, I know what happened. Take me back to the rope. And he said, no, you need to go check it. I said, I know what happened. Take me back. So he took me back, and Gary Gray was looking at me like, wasn't you just here? And so I was trying to talk to him, and he couldn't hear me, and I yelled, just start me. Just let me go. So I went, and I was number one qualifier. And so out of that one qualifying run, I said, okay, so we're in good shape. We get down to the finals, and we go to start the boat to warm it up, and it won't start. And so, man, we were trying, could not get it started, couldn't figure out what it was. So I'm doing the walk of shame going up to the tower to tell them that I'm broke, that I'm not going to make it to the water. And that's the time I was almost there. One of my crew members is yelling across the park, we fixed it, come back. I turned around, was running back to the boat, threw my gear on as fast as I could. We start going to the water, and a bearing goes out on the trailer. And so the wheel's about to fall off, and my tow guy goes, what am I going to do? I said, I don't care if the tire falls off. Just get me to the water. And we got in the water. We ended up winning that race, and I finally got the Waco monkey off my back. I finally had people there watching, and I actually won it. So that I guess that was a win. That was probably one of my coolest victories. And I love Waco. Love racing there.
Oh, very cool track. Very cool track. Man, that is a great story.
Yeah. Well, I'd write a book, but somebody probably think I'm a liar because we've had some pretty wild adventures just getting to and from some races. But that's why I love it, man. If it, like I said, if it's easy, it wouldn't be fun. So I love the challenge.
Absolutely. So, anything else you want to share here in the last few minutes?
Well, man, I hope everybody comes out for 2023. It's going to be a great year. Man, I tell you what, we're excited about racing. Of course, we're always excited about racing, and I've said this. I've said this a long time ago. When I drive at the track, I've already won. I mean, it's just being around those people, getting the opportunity to race and do that. Like I said, any kids, that are at the track, y'all come by, y'all get, we're going to set you in the boat. You're going to take pictures. We'll let you start the thing, whatever we got to do. Our motto and our team is faith, family, and drag boats. And so, man, it's just an exciting thing to do, and can't wait to 2023. We're geared up. We're ready to go.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to watching you win a bunch this year, buddy. And
well, I'm going to try. Thank you so much. And I also want to throw some kudos to you, Andy. Last year I got everybody on my team a Andy Reynolds #1 qualifier hat, and I got everybody one except for me. So, man, I'm gonna go pretty hard this year to see if I can get me one of them hats. I kept giving them to everybody on my teams, but I never have gotten one. So I'm gonna try to get one this year. But man, we really appreciate what you do for racing and the hat deal, and just doing this podcast and putting our sport out there, and really appreciate it. You're definitely an ambassador for our sport, and thank you a lot.
Well, thank you, sir, and I look forward to you winning one of those hats this year, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Take care, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to this week's episode. Congratulations to Henry. Look forward to 2023. As the race dates are scrolling on your screen now, please pick out a race that's close to you or somewhere new that you've never been. Come out to a boat race. Say hey to everybody. Look forward to seeing you there. Again, thank you to Jace. Thank you to David for the use of their photos. Please go and like us on Facebook. Please go and like us and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you, everybody, tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.